Good morning. So we are continuing the lesson yoga, and we have discussed about the three elements of the yoga. Now these days we are studying about the elements of the yoga. 8 elements are there which we are studying. So these 8 elements: yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. These 8 elements. So we have discussed yam in detail, niyam in detail, and asanas we have discussed recently in previous video. Now we will discuss about the pranayam, the fourth element, fourth limb of yoga. Pranayam is the control of the process of breathing. It means appropriate control over inhalation and exhalation. It is the proper control over the inhalation and exhalation. It helps in regulating the metabolic activity and enhance the function of heart and lungs. It also provides longevity to life. That we must understand how precious these breathings are. We all know that breathings are highly precious for life. If there is no breathing, there is no life. So it is very important that there should be breathing, and breathing should be in proper manner, and there should be a proper control, good control of the individual over the inhalation and exhalation. That is the pranayam. That pranayam helps us to practice about the control over the breathing, inhalation and exhalation. That's why the pranayam activities, the pranayams are only the exercise, the practice of breathing and control the breathing, inhalation and exhalation, regulating the metabolic activities from the root. Metabolic activities will be regulated when inhalation and exhalation will be proper. Heart will function properly, lungs can function properly when there is proper control over inhalation and exhalation. As we know, oxygen is the sign of life. Wherever there in the planet, if there is oxygen, so then that means there is life, and life is possible there. And we are talking about that oxygen here because inhalation, we inhale a mixture of gases, and oxygen is taken by heart, by lungs separately to mix with the blood, and which initiate the further functions, further physiological functions, metabolism, catabolism, oxidation, various activities are there. When lungs separately mix this oxygen to the blood for transportation to to the each and every part of the body. So that's why the pranayam is based on the pranavayu, that is oxygen. So inhalation, we are inhaling the mixture of gases, but mainly the oxygen is important for life. Pranayam is the science of breath. It is a hub around which the life revolves. The oxygen is the hub around which the life revolves. Life is only around the oxygen. That's why I was telling you, the planets where there is no oxygen, so there is no possibilities of the life. So that's why the oxygen and the pranayam is the science of breath, and breath is the hub around which life revolves. Life is the around the breathings. If there are breathings, there is life. If there are no breathings, then there is no life. Then the pranavayu, I was discussing in the previous slide, the pranavayu, which is oxygen. Pranavayu, pran means the life, vayu means that is the air. The pranavayu, that which gives us life. Pran means life, vayu means air. So pranavayu is the air which gives us life, so that is oxygen. Pranavayu, which is oxygen, which is a sign of life and a form of energy to do work and to survive. Definitely, if it is the sign of life, so it is definitely required for survival. And in physiologically we can understand that this oxygen is used to produce the energy for working of various organs and various organ systems in our body. This is classified, this pranavayu is classified in 5 main categories according to the various functions performed by it in our body. So, the pranavayu oxygen, according to its role, pranavayu oxygen is only one, but according to its role in our body, its functions, various functions it has in our body, so that's why it is classified further. The 5 main categories are pran. First is pran, prana. Pran that I have discussed you, that is pran is life, which moves the sphere of lower abdomen and controls the function of elimination of urine and feces. So, the pran vayu is divided in 5 categories. So, first category is the pran. This is this category of the oxygen is helping in removing the urine and feces by controlling the digestive system, and its area is lower abdomen. It exists in lower abdomen and controls the function of elimination of urine and feces. Second type of the pranavayu is, it is apan, APAN, Apan. Apan, that's why I'm telling you there are five: Pran, Apan, Saman, Udan, and Vyan. There are five. So Pran we have discussed. Apan we are discussing. Udan we will discuss. Saman we will discuss. Saman, Udan, and Vyan we will discuss. So this is in order: Pran, Apan, Saman, Udan, and Vyan. There are five in category. So Pran we have discussed. Apan we are discussing. Apan, which moves near the region of heart. This Vayu, which moves near the region of heart and controls respiration. And here we must understand then the air, oxygen also controls the respiration, because you are not inhaling by yourself. There is the sucking force, it's being created by the lungs. That's why we are able to inhale the air. So the air which is responsible for controlling the respiration and presents near the region of the heart is known as Apan. So Pran we have discussed, lower abdomen, near the lower abdomen. Apan is near the region of heart and it is controlling the respiration. Third one we will see, Saman. Saman is the another category of the pranavayu which strokes the gastric fiber to help digestion. So this is the Saman is controlling the gut. Gut is the alimentary tract where the digestion takes place. So which strokes the gastric fiber and helps in digestion. So it is helping overall the digestive system. Saman Vayu is helping in digestive system to make the digestive system properly work and the digestive system work properly by the presence of the Saman Vayu. Next is Udan Vayu. Udan, which dwells in thoracic cavity. Thoracic cavity, that is the neck and between the neck and chest. Thoracic cavity to control the intake of air and food. Udan Vayu controls about the intake of air and food. So it dwells in the thoracic cavity. It is known as thoracic cavity. This is thoracic words comes from the spine, the thoracic region of the spine. It is just from the neck and between the chest and neck, between the chest and neck, that is the known as thoracic cavity, thoracic area. So thoracic cavity where there is the common opening of the at the larynx and pharynx, at the common opening of the food pipe and windpipe. So this Udan Vayu helps us to control the intake of air and food from that cavity only, from larynx and pharynx, which is the common opening of the respiratory and digestive system, digestive tract at the thoracic region. So Udan Vayu is the available in the thoracic cavity to control the intake of air and food. Next is Vyan. Vyan, which is in entire body to distribute the energy derived from food and breath. So Vyan is available, is it distributed throughout the body, entire body, and it distributes the energy derived from the food and breath. Breath, when we are inhaling the oxygen, the air, the oxygen reaches to the cell through the blood, and this oxygen takes part in the biochemical reactions where the energy is produced. So, this energy is produced by the oxygen in the presence of the nutrient like carbohydrate food, carbohydrate, glucose, galactose, fructose. So this react with the oxygen and produce energy. So that's why it distribute the energy derived from the food and breath. Breath, we are breathing. The breathing and the food is that food we have taken, and there is the nutrient is available in the food, that is the glucose, fructose, lactose, galactose, which will react with the oxygen and will produce the energy, and that energy will be distributed by this Vyan Vayu. So this is about the five Pranavayu, five main prans. Then we have Upprans are there, five Uppranas there. So there are five subtypes of Vyan. The last one, which we have discussed in previous video, previous slide, Pran, Apan, Udan, Saman and Vyan, that we have discussed in previous slide. So there are five subtypes of Vyan, which are five Uppranas. These are also known as five Uppranas. Prans we have discussed, five prans we have discussed, Vyanapan, Pran, Apan, Saman, Udan and Vyan. Now we have the five type of Vyan. These are five Uppranas. There Naga, Kurma, Krikala, Devdatta, Dhananjaya. So these are the five Uppranas are there. What are these names? Naga, Kurma, Krikala, Devdatta, Dhananjaya. What are these five and what are their roles? So these have the roles that differently they work in the different region of the body. As Naga is known as burping. It removes the blockage of prana and apan that we have discussed. It removes blockage of pran and apan and prevent gas formation in the digestive system. That we have seen various people suffer with the gastric problems. So this naga, that is the upprana and the form of the vayu, pranavayu, which removes the blockage of prana and apan and prevent gas formation in the digestive system. Constant suppression of naga can lead to cardiac problem. If you are suppressing it, this year if you are suppressing, so then it can lead the problem of cardiac problem and other functions of the naga includes triggering of the vomit reflex due to indigestion and dissolving blockage of saman and prana. Means triggering of the vomit reflex. If there is any problem in the digestive system, then it will help by vomiting. it will throw out them by vomiting. So removes blockage of prana and apan and prevent gas formation. Maximum the vomit reflex comes due to the gas formation, because when the gas formed in the stomach, inside the stomach, and then it uh, throw the acid out from the stomach towards the esophagus, that food pipe. So that cause the vomit reflex. So that's why this is the naga, the Uprana type of pranavayu, removes blockage of pran and apan and prevent gas formation in the digestive system. Constant suppression of naga can lead to the cardiac problem. Other functions include triggering the vomit reflex due to indigestion and dissolving blockage of saman and prana. Next one we will see kurma. Kurma is blinking. So blinking we know. This uprana function in the area of the eyes, controlling opening and closing of eyelids. The energy of this uprana is active when we are awake and is revitalized when we sleep. So during the sleep it is not active, as it is active when we are awake. Kurma protect the eye from the penetration of dust and foreign bodies into the eyes. Kurma protect the eyes from the penetration of dust and foreign bodies into the eyes. Disturbance of this uprana cause uncontrolled blinking and twitching of the eyelids. The practice of Trataka, that is the Kriya, Trataka Kriya, provides balance and strength of kurma, as does the chanting of Om, placing warm palms over the eyes, and asanas where the head is bent forward. That mostly we do that after the meditation. We rub the hands together and we put the warm hands over the face and over the eyes. This helps, warm palms over the eyes. And asanas are when we are bending head forward, because this supplies maximum blood flow towards the head region and that gives warmness to the eyes. So pronouncing Om with the longer exhalation. So this is about the Upran Kurma, which controls the blinking of the eyelids, blinking of eyes, and opening and closing of eyelids. And this is very important, as we know, because we cannot see continuously without blinking our eyes, and this blinking helps to prevent the various foreign particles, dust bodies to inside of the eyes. Blinking is very important function, but it is very small function, but it is very significant, and it is controlled by the kuma air. Then Krikala. Krikala we will see, this is sneezing, clears blockage of respiratory systems. It is in the form of sneezing. Sneezing can also ease headache, as it releases energy blockage in the head and neck. A sneeze should not be suppressed whenever the sneeze is coming, so we should not suppress it. Let it come. Let's sneeze freely. So sneezing is suppressed, so as this may affect vertebra in the cervical spine. Cervical spine region of the vertebra will be affected by this. A forked tail is said that he who sneezes loudly and strongly has a long life. Weak sneeze indicates weak vitality. So sneezing is not a bad habit, it's good habit, but whenever the sneeze is there, so sneezing should be freely. Otherwise it can affect the vertebral column, the vertebra, spinal cord, as the region, especially cervical region, which is very significant. Whole spine is very significant. It has very significant role in our whole physiological function, but especially cervical is another very significant region. So blockage of respiratory systems are cleared by the sneezing. Like blockage of respiratory system means whenever something is entered in your respiratory system, so you sneeze, or we sneeze freely to throw out that particle whatever is has entered in our respiratory system. So that is sneezing is good for our health. Then we will see Devadatta, another one, that is Devadatta is yawning. This one of Devadatta is similar to that Saman Prana. Yawning expel gas, reducing tiredness after eating certain foods such as grains, onions, garlic, cause fatigue. Many yogis only eat vegetables and some milk products in order to sustain their level of vitality and thereby reduce lethargy. So whenever we are lethargic, we feel tiredness, so then what do? We yawn. Yawning is there. So that yawning should never be suppressed. This is due to the air, the pranavayu, Devadatta. Devadatta is, it helps to expel the gas and toxic gas which is produced in our body and causing tiredness and another kind of suffocation. So that is thrown out by the yawning. So yawning is another which is Devadatta controls it. Then next is Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya opening and closing of heart valves. So Dhananjaya is the air, the pranavayu, which helps in controlling the opening and closing of the heart valves. Dhananjaya reside close to the heart. It influences the whole body and in particular the muscles of the heart by opening and closing the heart valves. Cardiac problems and even heart attack may occur due to a serious disturbance of Dhananjaya. So Dhananjaya is another type of Upprana or Pranavayu which is very important for the well functioning of the heart, and it is definitely helpful for opening and closing of the valve of the hearts. And as we know, when the valves of the hearts are open and close with the pressure of the blood and contraction and relaxation, definitely the heart can work properly. If there is any disturbance in the opening of valves of the heart, then there may be any serious problem can occur. So that's why the Dhananjaya resides close to the heart. It influences the whole body and in particular the muscles of the heart. That movement of the contraction relaxation of the heart muscles is caused by the Dhananjaya. It is very significant role in heart functions, and if it is disturbed, so there may be any serious problem related to heart disease. So this is all about the pranayam, the fourth element of the yam, fourth limb of the Ashtanga Yoga. So this we have discussed. So this is all about it. We will come with the next element, Pratyahar. next limb pratyahar, next video.